I mean, Dave Van Horn said, he said it's set up perfectly for them.
You couldn't ask for anything more, right? Bases loaded, you got your best 2 hitters at the plate, but Ianson was just too good.
Cahillo Loy at the plate. Cahillo, the transfer in from BYU. That one is off the plate. Actually recruited to BYU as a pitcher, but BYU was struggling at the plate. They knew he could swing it, so they got him in the lineup, did enough offensively. And then once Arkansas found out he was getting in the portal, they like, hey, we could use another bat. Check swing. Did he go? No. Says our first base umpire, Brandon Cooper.
Oh, this was close. Did he go? You make the call at home.
But why don't you make the call up here in the booth?
Let me say it like this. If I'm on the bump,
Yeah,
I want that one.
right.
I want that one.
Shot to the right side. Boy, there was a big hole over there as Dickinson was playing more toward the middle of the infield. So base hit for Aloy, and that'll be the 3rd hit for the Hogs.
That kid can hit, man. I'm going to tell you. Leads the SEC in RBIs with 66. And Dave Van Horn told us on the Zoom call that they obviously didn't want him to pitch this year, but he said maybe next year it's in the cards for him to DH a little bit and maybe pitch as well.
Could slide him as their right fielder. Guys getting back like Parker Coyle getting back from injury. You got Maxwell getting back from an injury. And when the pieces come together, this could be a really deep postseason run for the Hogs. Struggling up here today. An uphill battle for sure. Cam Kozel out of Omaha, Nebraska. He's behind 0-2. And the shift is on. Milam moves to the right side of second base. Braswell moves over to the shortstop spot. That one misses inside. Kozel, the transfer out of Vanderbilt. Played a bunch of baseball. 35 starts in 43 games with the Commodores. Hit .284 a year ago. Had 42 hits on the year, but he had 1 week where he racked up 14 hits.
Wow.
Back in early March. There's a high chopper back to Ianson. Underhand toss over to first, and they'll get the out there. And that's out number 1. Iredale out of Sydney, Australia. 296, 12 homers, 53 runs batted in.
Iredale last night 0 for 4. Did walk in his final at bat.
Do you think it's easier to project when you come from like a mid-major school to a SEC, ACC program to project a pitcher or a hitter through the transfer portal?
That's a great question. For me, it's probably a pitcher, because the one thing I look at is he a strike thrower? And that normally, no matter what level you go to, that normally translates. Like if you're a strike thrower, and if you look at Ianson last year when he was at UC San Diego, 82 innings, he only walked 24 guys and struck out 85. Now he's got taken a big jump in strikeouts. He's going from 85 and 82 innings to this year with 105 and 68 in the third coming in.
And adds another strikeout to his total. That's 7 for Ianson.
And look, he can spin it. And I always say, spin them if you got them. And Anthony Ianson can certainly spin it. Got a hit with the curveball, and that's a little slider, and that's perfectly placed on the outside part. You can see LSU catcher Cade Aaron Beatty just kind of gently rocked to the outside part, exactly where it was delivered. 7th strikeout of the day for Ianson. Remember, he had 14 strikeouts just a week ago in a complete game against Texas A&M.
You know, last year at UC San Diego, as that one's popped out of play, opponents hit just 190 against him in 82 innings. I mean, so the sample size was pretty large.
And how about this too? And he keeps the ball in the ballpark. In other words, this year he's only allowed 3 home runs. The entire year last year at UC San Diego, he only allowed 3 home runs. So that's 6 home runs allowed. And what is that, about 110 or 15 innings pitched between the last 2 years? That's a good number in today's game.
Nate Yeske, LSU's pitching coach, has really fine-tuned. You talked about the jump and the strikeouts and stuff. Give a lot of credit to that man, and really the strength program here as well. Both these programs.
I think we got 2 of the best pitching coaches in the game in these dugouts right here. You talk about Matt Hobbs over at Arkansas. He is outstanding. Nate Yeske, what he's done speaks for itself. And yeah, LSU led the entire nation last year as a staff in strikeouts. Well, they're number 2 this year to Vanderbilt. So LSU has a history of striking out guys. And if you look further back, this is the best team ERA LSU's had since 2015. That's how good this staff has been.
As college baseball goes, it's just amazing to me what we get to do in the springtime and watch these future big leaguers. By the way, speaking of that, big leaguers, Tim Elko.
Yes, I saw that.
Makes his big league debut today with the Chicago White Sox. And I just remember everybody saying the guy's been around. There's a high chopper fielded over there at third. Well done. Can't handle on the other side, though. Robinette can't pick it. That'll bounce off the wall. And Braswell will reach, excuse me, Stanfield will reach. But Tim Elko, when he left Ole Miss, people are like, he's too old, he's been around, he's not going to, you know, it's going to be the long journey for him to get to the big leagues. Well, I'll be doggone if he didn't get there.
Guess what? You know who that reminds me of? Brent Rooker. Remember Brent Rooker? All the scouts said, oh, Brent Rooker, he's a good college player. Yeah, he won the Triple Crown. First guy to do it since Rafael Palomero did it back in '84. But he'll be a good minor league player, but he won't never, well, look what Brent Rooker's doing in the big leagues.
He's had a nice career.
Yeah, and Elko is no doubt in my mind, Elko, after what he did and what he went through at Ole Miss, he'll play for a while at the major league level. So good for him.
So not only does he get to win a College World Series, Tim Elko, coming back from just a devastating knee injury in the process, wins a national championship there, and now he gets to play in the show. Good for him.
100%. Well, I mean, we saw the numbers. I mean, what is it? Was it 80 SEC players on opening day rosters in the big leagues? 80, and that was by far more than any other conference. It wasn't even close. And that's why you're starting to see all these West Coast kids make their way to the Southeast to play in the Southeastern Conference. They want the biggest crowds, the best baseball, the best competition. This is where everybody is starting to come now.
Jay Johnson calling a quick timeout as Derek Curiel falls behind 0-1. By the way, that went down as an error on the third baseman, Iredale, on that throw. Curiel is singled, scored on that home run by Jake Brown, and then struck out his last time up, and then gloved at second base by Kozel. Can he get it out of his glove in time? He cannot. Safe at first.
Well, Kozel did everything he could. You talk about an outstanding play. When that ball was hit, I said, there's no way that Kozel's going to get to this ball. Watch him range to the glove side. Lays out right there. He's got him, but a little bit of trouble on the transfer, and Curiel hunting that infield hit and just barely beats it out.
Just scored a base hit, so first and second for LSU. Jared Jones looking for his first hit, struck out his first at bat, but then just hit a laser to third base, but right at Brent Iredale. Average down to 347. Down to 347. Did he go? No. 2-0.
If you're Ben Bybee here, careful on this 2-0 count right here. And don't think Jared Jones don't have the green light here, 3-0.
And he did have the green light. Fouls it off. Old Bear hit the second longest home run in the history of this ballpark 2 weeks ago against Tennessee in that walk-off win. You know who hit the longest home run here?
I've seen some long ones, but I don't know if StatCast was in 10 years ago or 12 years ago when some of the balls were flying out, you know.
Greg Dykman.
Oh, I remember that one.
I think it was 480-something feet.
You remember Jacoby Jones?
Yeah.
All right, Jacoby Jones for the second year of the BB Core bat when the equipment was a little bit softer than what it is right now. You see the scoreboard in left center field?
Yeah, I do.
He hit it over the scoreboard in a ball game here. It landed, it went where it says Skip Berkman Field. It went just over the scoreboard and right underneath where it says Skip Berkman Field out of this ballpark. The second year of the BB Core bat when it was really, if you hit 10 home runs.
It was dead.
Yeah, when you hit 10 home runs, you were considered a home run hitter, and that's where he hit it. So there's been some long ones. Get out of here.
Well, he's got his name as number 2 right now. You know, his brother played, his older brother's nickname was Moose. He played some baseball at Division II school called Young Harris in the North Georgia Mountains. Gorgeous place.
Well, we got a zoo going on in the family. We got Bear and Moose.
Yeah.
All right.
Young Harris Mountain Lions. See? Like how it all ties together. Moose, Bear, Mountain Lions.
Yeah.
Young Harris ranked in the top 10 in the country in Division II baseball. Conference of Carolinas champions. Here is Daniel Dickinson. So how about we set the runners for it? Stanfield's over there at third, reached on an error. Curiel singled. And Jones walks, and he stands at first.
Yeah, a chance for Dickinson to blow this game wide open with a base hit.
Little chopper to third. That'll be foul. That's lifted high in the air. Helfrich slings the mask away and makes the catch. You're not out of trouble yet. 1 out, bases loaded. Here comes a guy that has 2 jacks today.
Yeah, 2 different pitches too. Hanging breaking ball for the first one, and he just quickly turned around 94 on the inside part of the plate for his second long ball of the day.
Jake Brown came into this game with 4 home runs. Dave Van Horn knows that this is possibly the game right here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a chance for LSU to blow this thing wide open if Jake Brown can get a base hit.
We will update the change when we come back. LSU trying to...
And the changeup. Fastball is going to be in that low 90s range.
Brown, by the way, the splits on him while they went to make the change. Brown's hitting .326 against right-handers with a couple of home runs today. He's hitting .207 against lefties.
Yeah. Well, you look at the numbers, right? Numbers don't lie.
And he's quickly behind 0-2. Just misses 1-2 the count. sophomore from Sulphur, Louisiana. Trying to keep it going here. 2 for 2, and that one bounces away, but not far enough from Ryder Helfrich. Everybody stays at their respective bases. Jake Brown came out of high school, highly sought after. He's a 16th round draft pick by the Rangers. Played a bunch of games last year as a freshman. Swing and a miss here, and that .207 average against lefties will dip down another few points.
Yeah, Dave Van Horn knew exactly, and I think you hit the nail on the head. He realized this is a huge moment in the game. Bases loaded, only 1 out at the time. He goes and gets his lefter, Fisher. He quickly takes care of Jake Brown, so 2 out. But now you got to face the right-hander, Ethan Fry, who torches left-handed pitching.
So Fry steps in, has a base hit, and has walked today. Boy, Fry just kind of worked himself into this lineup. Remember, 2 or 3 weeks into the conference season, Jay Johnson says we just got to find him some at-bats. Too good of a talent.
Yeah, I remember early in the year, Jay Johnson was searching for somebody to kind of raise their hand and step forward and say, I want to be your everyday DH. And he was running 3 or 4 different guys through that DH spot. And finally, Ethan Fry just raised his head and said, you know what? I'd like to be your DH. And he has not disappointed.
If you've got a spot, I'll take it. Sharply hit, but foul. That one misses. Fry's hitting .356 against left-handers this year. .365 against right-handers.
That's pretty even.
That'll keep you in the lineup, won't it?
That will keep you in the lineup no matter who's pitching.
Right. Oh, boy, even Helfrich thought he might have missed that one. It was so far off the plate.
Yeah, it looked like Helfrich was expecting the ball to be on the inside part of the plate. And watch this to the backhand side right here. How does he, on that one knee, keep this ball in front? But somehow he does.
Everybody will be moving here. 3-2. It's now 6-0. And the error that started this inning comes back to haunt Arkansas.
Yeah. Well, 2 plays in this inning could have been made. The error over at third base, and the Kozel made an outstanding play, but just couldn't get the ball out of his glove. That could have been an out as well. Arkansas should be off the field, but they're not.
What was the number you gave me about errors a minute ago in the big league? If you commit fewer errors?
If you go back to 2009 in the big leagues, that's a lot of games. Everybody plays 162 a year. So you add that up over the course, it's 2009. The team that makes the fewest errors in a ball game head-to-head wins in the big leagues at 63% of the time. We always talk about runs scored, and obviously that's the main thing. But errors, if you look at the box score every day in the big leagues, the team that makes the fewest amount of errors in a ball game wins an amazing 63% of the time.
Boy, that wind is howling out there in center field. Still blowing out toward right. You said it's a different wind. This is like a fall wind, not a spring wind.
This is more, yeah, like a February, early March wind at the box where it pushes out of the north. Yeah. It can be difficult for right-handed hitters to hit home runs to left field, left center field. Now, again, if you get it to right field as a right-handed hitter, you get up there and kind of ride the wind, or if you're left-handed and you pull it down the line, it'll go for a while.
LSU's had the leadoff runner aboard every inning, and all of those runners have come in to score. Sharply hit to third, glove there, backhanded by Iredale. He'll step on the bag and get.
And your guys get tired over the course. I mean, that's a grind, man. That is a serious grind.
Tennessee pulled the double dip last year. Won the SEC tournament. Kept it rolling right to the national championship.
Yes, they did.
LSU up 6-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Reese Robinette to lead things off. Kennett, Missouri.
And that's the thing about Tennessee. I mean, in history, I mean, Mississippi State won their first title and kind of went off the grid for a couple years. You know, then Ole Miss won their first title. They kind of go off the grid a little bit, had some down years. But boy, Tennessee's just kind of picked up right where they left off.
Here's a look at the standings. Tennessee at 15-10. Got off to the best start in school history this year. Been a little bit of a hiccup, though, of late. Tennessee's lost some series.
Yeah. And there is a big series next weekend between the Hogs and the Vols, too. That's going to be the final series of the year, SEC, and that is going to be a big one there. LSU wraps up at South Carolina. And Arkansas is going to host Tennessee in the final SEC weekend next weekend.
Swing and a miss, and Robinette goes down. And yet another strikeout for Ianson. That is number 9.
This is dirty, Dave, and it's been dirty as a Bourbon Street martini all game long for Ianson because he is spinning those breaking balls. That's what he does. He throws enough fastballs to kind of keep you honest, but he wants to get you out with those that slider and that curveball of his.
That is 3 straight strikeouts for Ianson, as he'll face Justin Thomas Jr. Justin Jr. out of Savannah, Georgia. Transferred in from University of Georgia and Florida Southwestern State. Fouls that one out of play. At Georgia, had 8 starts, played 25 games back in 2023, and then transferred out to Florida Southwestern State, where he had .393 last year and a swing and a miss. And this is just getting ridiculous.
Yeah, he is feeling it. And mind you, he's doing it against one of the best offenses in the entire country. That's more of a backup breaking ball right there, but it works. 4 strikeouts in a row. 10th of the day for Ianson.
And it's the 5th time he's had double-figure strikeouts this year.
I mean, that's...
Catalan will step in. Try to get something going with 2 outs here. 3 hits on the board for Arkansas.
How about that number right there? 115 of them on the year. 3rd in the SEC. Came in 4th in the entire country in total strikeouts.
Fouls that one back.
Now, Ianson's season high for strikeouts, if you look at season high, came against North Alabama back on March the 8th. He struck out 15 in that ball game.
Two and two. Where the stage was set in the first inning when Jake Brown hit a 3-run homer for LSU. Tigers to this point have not looked back. That one is sharply hit, but foul into the expensive area. Or the new addition here to the box. These seats down the right field line and left field. They used to be the bullpens.
Right. A lot less foul ground the way it's built now, and it really necks down there toward the end. You can see it right at the end of where those stands are down there. It's almost right on the foul line, both down the left field line and the right field line.
That one shot out to left.
Yeah, Florida State right now. I knew you had to get at least one Florida. That's just one so far. Right. I knew you got one in, but yeah, they're number 7 in the RPI right now.
There's more coming. Don't you worry about it. Have I mentioned about Alex Lodice yet?
Not on the air. You mentioned it a couple times before the game started.
Look, we haven't really had a lot to talk about with our football team and the basketball program, so just give me that 30 seconds if you could, please.
No, Florida State's got a good program, obviously, and they're having one heck of a year. But that's where I'm going to end it right there. I'll give you that.
2-2 on Braswell. Slaps that one toward the dugout. Boy, just looking around Alex Box Stadium, and just another huge crowd here. These folks, I got here 3 hours before first pitch, and you just start driving down
Skip Bertman Drive, isn't it?
Came off River Road, turned left on Skip Bertman Drive.
Skip Bertman was where the old stadium was. Dang, I'm about 18 years behind here.
You'll catch up. You'll catch up.
Believe it or not, that's the new bridge over there that we're looking at. It's been there a long time.
Yeah.
It's the new bridge.
Yeah, there's a walk by Brad. Maybe that Skip Bertman Drive over there and this Skip Bertman Avenue over here.
Well, Skip was signing. He got a new book out. He was signing his book before the game. We saw a big line out there. Talk to Coach Bertman.
Anyway, it's every time I come here though, Ben, there's people tailgating 3 hours before the game. I mean, it's just like nothing else.
The folks don't need a reason around here to party.
No.
Have a good time. I mean, it was what, 1:17 in the morning, and this place was half full. I had like 5,000 or 6,000 people here last night at nearly 1:30 in the morning.
Aaron Beatty looks at the ball down. You know, Jay Johnson, the first walk-off home run, the 117 that Jared Jones hit against Tennessee a couple weeks ago, he said that for the first time he kind of like came out. There were 4,000 or 5,000 people still here. Base hit to the left side. So 2 on now and nobody out. But he said he just kind of just wanted to just embrace it, soak it all in. It was such an electric moment, and it's hard as a coach to kind of, I guess, enjoy a moment like that sometimes. But he said that moment, I just kind of just stood there and just wanted to take it all in.
Well, Jay, after his first year here, Jay was on record saying that people had told him, and he knew about it, and he knew about it, the fan base here. But until you actually go experience it, and look, LSU doesn't have the only one. I mean, you go around the SEC, Arkansas's fan base is tremendous. Ole Miss. Mississippi State, you can go on and on. It is the best fan bases in all of college baseball.
I was over at Mississippi State last weekend, and they've been struggling and poured in 13,000 fans to a game. You know what I mean? Chris Stanfield hitting 9th in this lineup, but he is not your normal 9-hole hitter. He'll square up here, pulls the bat back, makes it ball 1. This is crazy that LSU's had the leadoff runner on in every inning so far.
Yeah. It has been constant pressure.
And that one gets away from Helfrich, and the runners will move up to second and third.
Been a kind of a sloppy day for Arkansas, one of the best defending teams in the country. That's kind of one of the things. They do a lot of things really well, but defense, I mean, when you're fielding, and think about this, when you're fielding 983, that's a big number in the college game. And that's where Arkansas came in. Second in the country, first in the SEC.
Ball's off the netting down the left field line, way out in front. Boy, the wind is.
There's the blonde section here at Alex Box.
You're not going to be in that section.
No.
That ball's hit high in the air out to right. Maxwell there to make the catch. That'll get a run home. And again, the leadoff runner for the 5th consecutive inning comes in to score for LSU.
And to add to that, the runner at second base tags up and takes an extra 90 feet too. We talked about this. LSU has struggled to score runs lately in SEC play. Their last 4 SEC games, they'd scored a total of 12 runs. That's 3 runs per game. But a 7th spot on the scoreboard here in the 5th inning.
Colin Fisher delivers to Derek Curiel as this lineup flips him over again. This is the 4th at-bat for Curiel. Two for 3. His average up to 361. Boy, there just aren't many freshmen that can come in this league and do this. They just aren't.
I'll tell you, I saw DJ LeMahieu as a freshman. I saw Alex Bregman as a freshman. And I'm going to tell you what, this kid right here is more advanced than all those guys were his freshman year. His understanding, now he doesn't have the power that maybe Dylan Cruz had his freshman year, or Alex Bregman had, or even DJ LeMahieu, but his understanding of the strike zone and his bat-to-ball skills better than all 3 of those guys as a true freshman.
Well, that's saying something. There's a strike, 3-1. Another arm up, ready to go for Arkansas as Tate McGuire looks like he's ready to go if needed. Infield in. Ball 4. And now you got Jared Jones coming to the plate. And Dave Van Horn not going to waste any time, and it's going to go get Tate. Bear has struck out, lined out, and walked. So 1st and 3rd here in the bottom of the 5th. Another pitching change for the Hogs. We'll update it when we come back. The guy at the plate that we just saw the highlight from, Bear Jones.
Now 4-pitch mix, fastball, cutter, slider, and a curveball for Tate McGuire. Making his 15th appearance of the year. He has had a solid year out of that Hogs bullpen. .347 average for Bear on the year. Arkansas pitching staff today, 7 free passes. And boy, that is a recipe for disaster in this league.
That ball's laced and just foul. A little top spin on it. And hooking. You know, we talk about 7-0 lead, but LSU still, they've left 6 on base and still lead 7-0.
Yeah, Arkansas 1 for 6 today, runners in scoring position. LSU only 1 for 5. But when you're hitting home runs like they have, 3 of them so far, you don't necessarily have to hit with runners in scoring position.
.93 from McGuire, but off the plate, it's full 3-2 now.
Chance for McGuire here for a strike him out, throw him out. I'm betting Curiel is going to be off and moving from first base.
And there's ball 4, and they're loaded. That is the 33rd time this year Bear Jones has drawn a walk. Take a look at our runners. You got Aaron Beatty over there at third base. Derek Curiel at second. And Bear Jones over at first. That means that they are loaded for Daniel Dickinson at the plate, who's 0 for 2, looking for his first hit. 8 homers on the year for Daniel. The junior out of Richland, Washington, trying to blow this one wide open. Lifts it out of play. That one's foul. One right past Josh Jordan over there, the third base coach, hitting guru for LSU.
Recruiting coordinator, he does it all, and he does it as well as anybody.
How about his BP today? He was slinging it.
I'm talking about from 30 feet, he was throwing gas.
Backhanded there, they'll go to second, try to turn it, and boy, that ball might have slipped out of Kozel's hand. There was nothing on the throw over to first, but that will get a run home, and it's now 8-0. Nice little backhand pick over there by Iredale.
That was a nice play. This ball kind of took a funny hop on him. He has to retreat a little bit to the backhand side. Goes across right there, picks up the out. Yeah, I think there was a chance for Kozel maybe to turn a double play right there, but a little bit of trouble getting the ball out of his glove.
Two down in the inning now. Jake Brown, couple of home runs, 4 runs batted in, ties his career high. Hitting .307, came in at .298. Had him played up the middle, and he beats Aloy, who was shaded almost behind the bag, but just couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, that ball kind of stayed down on Aloy a little bit. How about today Jake Brown is having 2 for 3, actually 3 for 4, couple of homers, and 5 RBIs now. LSU has broke this thing wide open. Thumbs up for Jake Brown. LSU up 9-0 here in the 5th inning.
Rake it, Jake. I would say he has raked today. Ethan Fry. He singled and has a couple of walks. He walked with the bases loaded his last time up. Gave him his 35th run batted in of the year. High in the air, out to right. Is it deep enough? Yes, it is. A 3-run shot for Ethan Fry, his 10th of the year. Didn't make it by much.
But as long as it clears the wall, that's all that matters. Another Weaver, the second Weaver of the game for LSU. Another 3-run hot shot. Inside out swing right there. The hands go first, the barrel behind it. And all 6'6", 225-pound Ethan Fry. His 10th long ball of the year. His 38th RBI. And the Tigers have the Hogs by the tail in this one.
Well, that wind, as you said, right-handers can slice that into that jet stream that's favoring the right side, and that's exactly what happened. That just kind of off the bat looked like a routine fly ball and ends up being a 3-run homer. LSU has hit 4 home runs in this game now. The last time they did that was back in the middle of March against New Orleans. Ethan Fry had 2. Jared Jones and Aaron Beatty each had a solo shot in that game. Fouled off by Milam.
Well, think about this. LSU in their last 4 SEC games coming in a total of 12 runs scored.
Yeah.
12 in this one alone. Baseball is a funny game.
I wonder if Jay will talk to us.
He might want to talk a little bit more now. He was none too happy.
He missed it. He put the headset on, and immediately Arkansas laid down a bunt. And Braswell was playing deep and didn't make the play. And, well, the rest of the interview didn't go very well.
He was ready to get off.
Yes.
Right away.
A 12 spot by his offense today. There is a called strike 3 on Milam, and the inning is over. 6th spot on the board here in the year.
This
past season.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't know they actually got a Tiger on the field.
Well, they didn't put him on the field. They kind of rode him around in a cage around the field, like they used to.
But he was in the stadium.
Oh, he was in the stadium, but it wasn't like he was jogging around on the field, catching balls and stuff. That would have been a little bit. Well, that happened many years ago. Remember, some guy got in there and unlocked the Tiger cage many years ago.
That and ran through.
He was just kind of roaming around, went down to the Tiger down there, and got him a drink at the bar. They finally darted him and put him up. Can you imagine?
Did you ever get darted when you were here?
No, but my wife shot at me with a dart gun one time.
That's a story for another day. Mahiva Aloy.
Oh!
And Stanfield with a catch out in center. He almost overran it.
He did. I mean, he thought he was going to have to lay out to catch this ball. He got ready to lay out, and you're right. He almost overran this ball. Stanfield can fly, and you can see where he was shaded. He was shaded right center field, but really easily ran that ball down. Wasn't pretty, but it works. Oh, when it's going your way, it is going your way, and it's been going the Tigers' way since the first pitch of this game.
Well, 2 balls been barreled back to back. First Aloy, and now Maxwell. And Maxwell gets on with a single, 4th hit of the night now for Arkansas. That'll get us to Kahio Aloy.
Just imagine you're 21, 22 years old. You come out of the bar over at the Tiger to get back to your dorm or whatever. There's a 600-pound tiger walking by. I think I'm gonna go back inside.
There was a little, I guess, a cub, a Mike the Tiger cub. They actually took him out to the floor, Pete Maravich Assembly Center.
Okay.
It's popped up, introduced him to the crowd. I just think Mike the Tiger looks great in his, I keep saying new, it's been there 10 years now, but the new.
Well, we still call that the new bridge. It's been there, I don't know how many, 25 years, 30 years, whatever it's been.
The Intimidator out in right field. And Mike the Tiger's got himself a nice little habitat over there now.
Yeah, it looked like he'd been eating pretty good, too.
Yeah, he's healthy.
He ain't skipping many meals.
That one's a mile in the air off the bat of Aloy. Milam waves everybody off and battling the wind, and he'll make the catch. Look at Mike. Come on, how good is that?
Just chilling.
Got himself a little pool over there as well.
I had a buddy way back in the day that went to vet school here. Jeff Artall is his name, lives out toward Lafayette area. But that was his job. When you're one of the top students in the class, you get to take care of Mike. And he had all kind of stories. And that's not, he wasn't here where the new habitat, it was the old habitat, a little smaller.
That's the new bridge, right? That's the new bridge. It's been there 30 years?
Yeah, been there 30 plus years. We still call it the new bridge here.
Nate Yeski out to the mound. Talk to his right-hander. There's the new Tiger Stadium off in the distance. New Tiger Football Stadium right out there.
They're going to add on again, I guess, at some point in time. What's Ianson at? 89 pitches now? Yeah. Got this little screen on the button we can push. Watch this, Dave. There we go.
See that? Yep. You can see who's down the bullpen.
Looks like Maverick Rizzi, the big 6'9" freshman, starting to get heated up. That LSU bullpen.
He looks like 7'9" in that shot.
That's a big dude. I mean, Chase Shores is 6'8", Rizzi 6'9".
Kozel steps in, 0 for 2. He barrels another one. Boy, Arkansas starting to find the middle of the bat this inning against Ianson. Two down in the frame. Things are just a lot cleaner when you can start an inning fresh. If you're a bullpen guy, I would think mentally it's.
No doubt. Traffic, I mean, and I don't know how, I mean, I was not a reliever very often, but that's got to be tough. Because as a starter, I got time to kind of work my way into the game in the first inning, kind of feel. But man, when you're a reliever and you come in with traffic, you got to be on point from the beginning.
Both hits this inning on the first pitch. See what Iredale does here. He swings on a first pitch and lifts it high in the air toward the line and right. Is there any room to play it? No. Wind takes that one about 10 rows deep. Did you, in the big leagues, you had a couple of.
I had a few relief appearances my first year when I first got called up in '89. Yeah, I was out of the bullpen a little bit. And that's an adjustment to get used to that, you know, because as a starter we get the routine and we go out 30 minutes before and we do our running and stretching and long tossing. But man, when the phone rings in the bullpen, you got to get up and get ready.
First and second. Big swing and a miss from Iredale. Wasn't that your bullpen relief when you had to throw like 20-something straight fastballs?
Yeah, yeah. Jamie Quirk was my first big league catcher, and I was 21 years old, and he called 20-something consecutive fastballs. And I went off the field, and we got in the dugout, and I said, Mr. Quirk, I do have something other than a fastball. He said, shut up, rookie.
He was kind of a two-way guy. Came out as a catcher. Matter of fact, he was ranked as the #1 catcher in the state of Arkansas. The #4 overall prospect. Also pitched. As a senior, went 10-1. Struck out 118 guys in 62 innings.
Wow.
Facing Michael Braswell, the third. One's popped up right side. Again, the wind's going to play havoc with this. And it goes off the netting. Nothing anybody could do with that from an Arkansas defensive standpoint. I guess he was jolted by the foul ball heading off the net.
That net has saved many of people around the country.
Blasted out to center field, but I think the wind's going to keep this one in, and it does. So one down. Braswell just missed it. Wrong day to hit one out to straightaway center field.
You hit in the teeth of that wind. You better be Jarrett Jones if you're going to go out in center field today.
Kate Aaron Beatty steps in. He hit his 4th home run of the year back in the 2nd inning, a solo shot. Struck out and has singled. A couple of hits today has seen his average jump from 188 to 216.
Man, people on Twitter don't miss a thing. I was a little bit off on the new bridge. Dave, it's been there a little bit more than 30 years.
Okay.
It's only been there 57 years.
The new bridge.
Yeah, they just hit me on Twitter and said, Ben, the new bridge in capital letters has been there 57 years. Okay, you know, time flies. What can you say?
You were one. You were one when they opened that thing. How old were you?
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah,
there's a new bridge. 50,
maybe it's new lights.
57 years young.
Maybe the lights are 30 years old.
It's newer than the old bridge. Let's put it like that.
Right. Where does that bridge take you?
Lafayette West.
Yeah, okay.
Lafayette, Lake Charles, Crowley, Dusson. The Dusson exit down there. That's where all the crawfish come from, Dave. Where the rice fields are west of here.
Thank you for that. Now I can get you around Atlanta, the state of Georgia, but when it comes down
here, you better have a
lot
lot of time to get around in Atlanta with that traffic. You better not be in a hurry to go anywhere. Of course, I'm going to tell you, Baton Rouge traffic is no joke either.
Back up the middle, so a 3-hit game for Aaron Beatty.
Yeah, Aaron Beatty came in hitting just 188 on the year, and a 3-for-4 day for him, including a home run.
Robinette was over at first base. He moves to third. Pepe's over there at first base. He just came in a moment ago. There he is. Stands next to Aaron Beatty. And Robinette over there at third base. And LSU going to grab a pinch hitter as Beck steps up to the plate. Beck getting 375 on the year. Just in 8 at-bats, has 3 hits. 3 RBI in the process, taking advantage of those limited at-bats. Look at a 91-mile-an-hour fastball in there for a strike. Beck 3 for 7 as a pinch hitter this year. How about this league? I mean, Arkansas just takes down Texas, who looked invincible almost, swept them. And in an offensive display, a great pitching. I mean, it was just a complete effort for a weekend. You turn around, come on the road, you lose in 10 last night. Now you trail 12-0 in the 6th.
I mean, you said you don't know weekend to weekend in this league. Teams look so good one weekend, off the next weekend. And that's what we talked about. I mean, like I said, there's only been 4 teams out of 16 that have not been swept in the series this year. I mean, that's how crazy this league is. I mean, think about it. Texas got swept last week, and they were the only team in the SEC not to lose a series all year long. Not only did they lose, they lose all 3 of them.
Arkansas next weekend and finish up with Tennessee. And you talked about LSU going over to Columbia. They'll finish on the road at South Carolina. Get to see Paul Mainieri.
Yeah.
Been a tough year for Coach Mainieri over there at South Carolina. Certainly not what he expected, but knew it was going to be a rebuild process. Doesn't make it hurt any less, though. Ooh, that is just off the plate. And now they're first and second with 1 out.
Well, here's a concern for Arkansas, right? If you lose this series, you better win next weekend. Because if you lose back-to-back series and all of a sudden Arkansas finishes the regular season and they lose 5 of their final 6 SEC series, that doesn't look well for a national seed to lose 5 of your last 6. Now, clearly they're a national seed right now if the season would end today. But you lose this series and you lose next weekend, 5 out of 6, that doesn't look good at the end.
Derek Curiel. There's the remaining series coming up. for the top 4 in the conference as we sit here today.
Now, the good news for Arkansas, if they can win tomorrow, get to 18, you win 2 out of 3 next week against Tennessee, you get to 20 wins. There's only been one team since 2016 in the SEC that won 20 games that was not a national seed, and that was South Carolina back in like 2016 or 2017. So that sits well for Arkansas if they can get to 20 victories in conference play. Because typically 20 is the number to be a national seed.
15 used to be the lock number for a tournament berth in league play, but now because this league is so good and all the analytics tell you how good it is, 13 kind of could be that number for many teams.
Yeah.
14 is almost the lock now.
Well, remember LSU was in that last year, right? They won 13 games in conference. They got in to the NCAA tournament. So yeah, with the strength of schedule in the league now, you get to 13 wins in conference play. You're not 100% sure getting in, but a good chance of getting in the NCAA tournament.
I wonder what, the committee will value SEC tournament wins now in a, I don't know if the format changes that at all in terms of how they view a tournament win. It certainly should be as impressive as a conference win.
Oh, I would think so. Absolutely. And that's the great thing about the SEC tournament. If you're kind of a bubble team trying to get in, you go there and you win a couple of games, pretty much guarantees you to get in. If you're trying to be a top 16 seed and you're on the bubble, you win a couple of games, you get in. Same thing being a national seed, too. A top 8 national seed, I should say.
Florida Gators, of course, got up such a horrible start in league play. They've jumped up to 12 and 14 in conference play, even with today's loss to Texas. High in the air out to center field. Now it's drifting toward left, and catch is made there. Everybody stays put.
Yeah, didn't the Gators lose their first 4 SEC series, and then they've won 4 in a row since then?
And have a chance, obviously, with Texas tomorrow. That series tied 1-1 to win another one. That one's on the road. And Kentucky's starting to rally the troops. Kentucky beats Oklahoma today for the second time, and Kentucky also at 12 and 14 in league play. They basically had to revamp their entire roster from that Omaha team a year ago, but looks like they may have a chance to get back into the national tournament. Vanderbilt beat Tennessee today 10-6, so the Commodores at 14 and 11 in league play. Tennessee at 15 and 10.
Is Jones having a conversation with his bat?
Yeah, he's like, come on, dude, wake up. He's 0 for 2. Couple walks. A junior out of Marietta, Georgia, away at Walton High School. Fouls that one off. I'm gonna maybe I'll run into him tomorrow. I'm gonna ask him what he said to his bat. I think that's something I'll go investigate.
I'd like to know. Yeah. Thought for something maybe he had written something on his bat and he was reading it, but I think he was really having a conversation with it.
Sometimes those are the best conversation because you know they're not going to say anything back.
It's like talking to my wife. Most times she's not even going to say anything back. She just walks off.
What time did you get home last night?
I got home about 1. Actually, it was a little after 2. But by the time I showered and got in bed, I looked at the clock and it was a shade after 3. So yeah.
Fouls that one back. I mean, they just did get first pitch in. I mean, like by 3 minutes or something.
9:50 something we started. And I think obviously the deadline is you can't start after 10 p.m. and so just got it in time. And
you look good for a guy who only got about 3 hours of sleep. You've been on top of your game.
It's amazing what 5 or 6 cups of community coffee would do for you.
Right.
A lot of caffeine today.
Barrett Jones fouling him off.
But I promise you one thing, I'm going to crash hard later on tonight.
Just get back here by 3 o'clock local time.
What time is the game tomorrow?
3.
Okay,
3
I'll be here.
Central time.
I'll be here.
Eighth pitch of this at bat coming to Barrett Jones. And will he talk to it on the way back? No, he's just going to hit it. Wonder if he comes up with